morning and welcome to another edition of XFeed. If this is the first time you're seeing me, what's up? My name is The Schiller, and Monday through Friday, we do this little segment where we go through all of the stuff on my XFeed, a whole bunch of stuff to get into, and I'm very curious if we see some interesting announcements coming from the SEC. Starting off, not crypto related, but listen, I love the show. Stranger Things season number 5 is now in production. It'll be a little bit until we get to see it, but still excited to see where it goes. All right, coming in from Apex here, hyper casual games get over 10 billion downloads yearly. People spend 2 billion plus on them every year. So why are not more Web3 games building there? There are 10K hyper casual games released per year, over 100,000 mobile games in total, while they're one of the most popular genres by players. So they highlight a couple of collections in here, including Playember. They're building hyper casual games with Web3 integrations. Gas Hero Official, a successor of Steppen. If you remember, there was all this craze, kind of like the Pokemon Go aspect, and we brought it up last week, where I guess it's maybe something where you get to walk, but it says here that Gas Hero is a strategic and socially oriented Web3 game. We'll get more into that in a second. And InfiniGods, not hyper casual, but mid-core mobile games. And again, these are up on the screen, and I encourage you, as we're going over all these things, to go and do a little bit of research about, one of the topics in here as we go. But here we have Jonas saying that it only takes one game, and that's Gas Hero Official. And it looks like it's on Polygon here, and things look pretty all right. So what in the hell is Gas Hero Official? We click on here again, doing the quick 60-second check. Play now to Marketplace, a new era of Web3 social strategy gaming. Choose your Gas Hero strategy, power, wealth, or glory. And this looks like a mobile game where you can click on some of the characters here. And then there's a video. I don't want to go over that, but how to play. Here we go. In a world reshaped, true power lies in leadership. Forge alliances, exert influence, and ascend the world. Okay, what the hell is it? Okay, so it's a mobile game. Step into the trader's shoes and navigate the bustling markets of Gas Hero. From asset management to strategic trading and bidding your path to riches await. So again, looks like a relatively casual mobile game. Very interesting. And this is another one about something else that was mentioned in that thread. We are going to onboard the next billion gamers in Web3. This is mission impossible for 99% of games, but Playember might just be that 1%. So again, here's an opinion piece. Let's see what they have to say. Before we get started, make sure to engage in the bookmark. Summary: 10 games on app and Google Play Store, 120 million downloads, 5 million monthly active users. The Ember team knows that mobile gaming is a huge market and knows how to make fun games. According to Newzoo's 2023 industry report, mobile games contributed 49% of the revenue in gaming sector, about 90.4 billion, while PC and console combined is 50%. This is a crazy ratio. They are making the right moves. Playember is doing insane numbers on the Near network. Haven't really heard much about Near lately, at least on my feed, and quickly established themselves in Web3. Total new users in 2023, 640,000. Holy jeez. Weekly active users, 108K. The team is great funding and backers. Shima Capital, Huobi, Big. Of course, hey, listen, we got Animoca brands. That's all people want nowadays. All eyes on the free mint. What we know, it's January or early February, so you can actually still participate within this. It's low supply, and this NFT will be a big part of the ecosystem. They're doing a free mint, which is kind of spicy on that one. Bet on the right team, the dynamic duo, have great experiences and have what it takes to execute their goal. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to look into that, that is Playember. Doodles, we know that they're coming out with a TV show. And what's up, Stately Wayne Manor? How are you, sir? I saw you in the Discord at like 4 a.m. last night in the voice chat. Guys, crazy. But I'm interested because I feel like we haven't really seen a whole lot from Doodles after the boxes. So if you don't know, Doodles launched these boxes, and basically it was a way to clothe your doodle. And then obviously there was an announcement with Pharrell Williams, and it sounds like potentially there is an album soundtrack or something that's coming out that might be in correlation with this. But we have these animations that come out daily, and they're working on an adult animated show. So very curious to see how Doodles perform when that is fully launched. Samsung debuts the world's first transparent micro LED screen at CES 2024. That's kind of cool, to be honest. Yo, Stately, what's up? I think I forgot and left myself in VC for about a day. Down bad. That is tough, my friend. Kind of cool to see. Maybe this is kind of cool to see too. Gary Gensler coming out on the timeline, a thread. Some things to keep in mind if you're considering investing in crypto assets. Well, why is Gary making this post today? Could have made it literally any other day. I don't know. Maybe because a lot of people are going to think about getting into crypto for maybe a particular reason that starts with an E, T, and F. Those offering crypto asset investment/services may not be complying with applicable law, including federal securities law. Investors in crypto asset securities should understand that they may be deprived of key info and other important protections in connection with their investment. Investments in crypto asset also can be exceptionally risky and are often volatile. A number of major platforms and crypto assets have become insolvent and or lost. Investments in crypto assets continue to be subject to significant risk. Fraudsters continue to exploit the rising popularity of crypto assets to lure retail investors into scams. These investments continue to be what word is that? I've never seen that before. Replete with fraud, bogus coin offerings, Ponzi and pyramid schemes, and outright theft where a project promoter disappears with investor money. So, okay, Gary, we see you. Understand this, there is probably not a single day in Bitcoin's history where there has been a net flow of more than $1.5 billion long on Bitcoin, and the ETFs are about to get a mandate to buy roughly $3.5 billion in the space of 5 days, with the bulk of it coming in on day one. No one is ready. Listen, we got to have a little bit of back and forth. We got Gary saying, hey, be careful about this, and other people saying that things are going to look glorious. The gold spot ETF was approved in 2004. This is what it did to the price. So, obviously, inflation went through the roof, but it looks like it was, just around 400 euros, maybe 300, and now it's at almost 2,000. That is crazy. Ordinals are literally the most boring topic in the space to me, and I don't even know why, bro. Okay, so this is interesting because I think that we're seeing a huge uptick back into the PFP meta. There was a whole bunch of people that were like, damn, we don't want things that are just PFPs anymore. We want to be able to have assets that yield, that do something that's just more than a PFP. And then suddenly we're going back to, nope, it's fine. As long as there's provenance on certain chains, we love the PFPs. And so I think it's very interesting how the entire space kind of flip-flops on that one. But here coming in from Kevin Wu, Ordinals will repeat the exact same playbook as ETH NFT's last cycle. Speaking about the bull. ETF approved equals huge liquidity into Bitcoin. BTC and ETH ratio gets even higher, in my view. People buy PFPs to flex. Apparently we're back into that. And buy Bitcoin native art as a store of culture. Place your bets accordingly. Again, this kind of falls into the narratives that are getting created within the space, and I think it's interesting just how we're going to see this all flush out. If you haven't seen or know about it, way back in the day when Bored Apes were booming, they launched these ape serums where you were able to take your Bored Ape, use this serum, the serum got burned, and you were able to get your ape in a mutant variant. And so there is a little bit of an update here that I thought was kind of cool for anybody that hasn't heard from them in a while, or at least how that's looking. So Yuga Labs token transfers December 31st to January 7th. The Mutant Ape Yacht Club collection has grown in size this past week as a Bored Ape community member consumed a serum, creating the very first mutant born in 2024. Usually hospitals post like the photo of the couple that had the first kid in 2024. Now we got people saying, here's the first asset or creation for Bored Apes. It's kind of funny. An analysis of Bored Ape Chemistry Club and other collections. Bored Ape number 9004 drank an M2 serum, creating Mutant Ape 28009. Before this MAYC's creation, it had been 113 days since an M2 had been used. 113 days. Now, I get it. There are a lot smaller amount of those serums out there, but that seems like a ridiculous long time. 512 items now remain in the Bored Ape Chemistry Club, 316 M1s, and it's just like a difference of like the traits. Some of them just M1 to M2 is just slightly different. 195 M2 and then one M3, which are those mega mutants if you've seen them around. Other deed expanded plus 58 items. Code is decoupled plus 9. Other side Mara plus 235. And if you have an other side plot, you can like segment the assets, and which creates more of them in the supply. Hunter Mara 16,000, Farmer to 13,000, G tags minus 3 items, heavy metals plus 6, which I mean, is that for the sewer pass? Thought we couldn't do anything with those. Maybe I'm crazy on there, but nonetheless, kind of interesting what's going on with Yuga. Now, keep it on the Yuga train here just for a second. There has been a ton of FUD. Oh my sweet heavens. To start the past like few days here, it seems that a lot of people are unhappy. There was a huge 12 ape sweep. A lot of people, is that an actual person? Is this something that's going to go into a lending protocol? What's the deal here? But comments coming out, doesn't really matter how many get swept. People leaving the club in droves. Seems like people are not happy with things. At Yuga Labs, you do not care about ApeCoin, but please take care of apes. This is where things get super interesting, and I was surprised because when I got into the space a while ago, I got into cyberkongs, and one thing that I realized really quickly is that the banana token that was associated to the cyberkongs kind of dictated the price of them. Like at one point they went up to like $700,000 because the NFT was yielding like $1,000 a day because that token price was so high. When the underlying token went down, we saw the assets kind of fall flat, and we've seen kind of ApeCoin up and down and all around this place, but apes seem like they've been holding around this 30 ETH mark, but it looks like it's coming down just a little bit. But at the same time, ETH is moving up. More opinions here. Got to stop the ape staking and put an end or totally restructure the ape DAO. Runs less efficiently than the DMV, and it's a real thing holding Yuga back. I think there's been a lot of FUD about the ApeCoin DAO as a whole. The fact that there is kind of like a monopoly at being able to pass or reject proposals on there, and there's been a lot of concern regarding that. So curious to see how that flushes out. So a little bit of an engagement farming post here. But still, selling my BAYC for another NFT project, but I need help. Name one project that has collabs with Adidas, Gucci, Bape, Macbeth, and Time X, giving their holders 6 figures of ApeCoin for being a holder, the biggest seed round in US history, $4 billion valuation, supports community products and services and showcases them made by apes, continues to reward their holders with ApeCoin. Been to Sotheby's, has an insane team including executives from Blizzard and Epic Games, went viral in the gaming community with Dookie Dash Mongrel winning it. Performances of top 1% of entertainers like Lil Wayne, Lil Baby, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, and Future. Of course, I went to the ApeCoin event and I missed all of the good people, and I got Amy Schumer cracking a joke. Just FML. Front cover of Rolling Stone magazine that I believe also published an article absolutely thrashing apes. Gotta love articles that do that. Funded by CNN, WAGME. Been on Jimmy Fallon. Donated millions to Jane Goodall and dog shelters. Free airdrops worth $1,000 to $10,000 plus. Biggest community utilizing their own IP and best networking connection. So again, there is a lot of stuff that is going on with Yuga, and that's kind of like a positive spin on that. Now, we talked about Ordinals a little bit, and Captain Trippy pointing out that, hey, if Ordinals are going crazy, Yuga does have a collection called 12-Fold, and we'll see if that really kind of picks things up, because it has, at least on my feed, felt like it's kind of been a forgotten topic on that one. Hot take, Yuga has some big news to release, but wants to wait for the Magic Eden Marketplace so they can enforce royalties. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. I think this is the most important part of this entire thing. These collections, we look back at the past year and a half. It's felt generally extremely quiet for everyone. Why is that the case? Well, what's the difference between before, back in the bull run, and then last year? Well, obviously, the US dollar became way more valuable, and risk assets went cratering. But beyond that is the fact that collections lost these royalties, and so sure, there has to be other methods for sustainability, but it also takes time to create these things. So I think that a lot of collections are wanting to have the royalties being able to be enforced before they kind of bring out the big dogs, if you know what I mean. So I very much agree with that take. So the Golden Globes, going to talk about this for about 5 seconds, happened last night. Taylor Swift jokes. Emma Stone won something, and then they ask, what do you think about Taylor Swift applauding you? You have the chance to ask one of the best actresses of this generation a question. And that is what you asked her about Taylor Swift applauding during an award ceremony? Bro, this space is crazy. And then if you were a fan of The Last of Us, they showed Pedro Pascal, and then in the back, Bella Thorne, they're giving a cheer. I just thought that was kind of a feel-good moment in there. All right. Heard some say this cycle would not surpass previous all-time highs because lack of quantitative easy/stimmy. But what they don't understand is that the monetary policy is only one form of stimmy. The US has been stealth printing this entire time through fiscal policy. All-time highs will be shattered in 2024. Okay, dude. Listen, we got to inject the bullishness in my veins. I can't tell. I was scrolling the feed and this came up and I was like, man, I don't know if this looks delicious or absolutely disgusting as dessert. Megadesk has arrived. Listen, I love seeing people set up. I hope you guys all have a sweet one, but I saw this on the timeline and I was like, damn, we got the view. We got a mega screen. We got the switchboards for the audio. I love this setup. Hot take, Web3 games need to stop overselling themselves before they're even properly built. Let me elaborate. Recently, a lot of Web3 games in alpha, beta/closed beta have spent crazy amounts on marketing their games on crypto Twitter, with half-made games with being quite early. Those games are diluting their own brand values by giving access and exposure to the Web3 audiences to a subpar game. Instead, games should do all the testing silently with less PR and marketing involved, and then take it to the market when it's almost ready, like all major studios and games do. While these Web3 games are building hype, FOMO for tokens and NFTs, they are forgetting that it will have a net negative PR of the game, because when users play a game which is bugged, it has a bigger net negative psychological impact. Rarely anyone criticizes any game on crypto Twitter because they have their bag attached. I mean, generally good take. Kind of agree with it for the most part. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a funding thing. I don't know if it's the idea of building in public, right? Because we always ask, hey, we want to have transparent things from the team. We want to know this and that. And I mean, they give it to us and then it's like, okay, well, at least you guys are working on something. Because if you don't have some of those experiences, then you're going based off of, trust what they're saying. And that's pretty much it, right? Okay, FriendTech. Man, everybody that was talking about FriendTech that I saw, stop talking about FriendTech. I don't know what the hell's going on. I thought there was a connection with Base and things are going to be great. But here's an article, a thread, I should say, about FriendTech. So the FriendTech Treasury, all earned fees, finally moved from an EOA address to a multi-sig one in December. In the meantime, they also sent half of their earned fees, which is 7,800 ETH, or $16.6 million to Coinbase. FriendTech's total value locked has dropped 50% compared to all-time high. At its peak, its TVL is 30,000 ETH, or $50 million, and currently it is only 15K ETH, or 33 million. The daily key minting activities are minimal, more redemptions than minting on most days. 1.2% active users on Base are using FriendTech, and the transactions contribute to only 1% of the daily fees. At its peak, 54% of the active addresses on Base are using FriendTech and contributed to 18% of the total fees. For more interesting stats, you can check out this, and then there's more stuff in there. But I just thought it was kind of interesting to do a little bit checkup on FriendTech. Book games, holy shit. Listen, you need to tell your friends, because I think a lot of people are sitting on these that totally forgot that they bought them, because there's 17,000 owners, almost 18. When you go and look, it's Token Trove. You can look it up. You might even have some airdrops from Immutable if you happen to have some funds that were sitting on there. But if you don't know, Book Games was a collection that was created by Gary Vee. He sold a book and it attached these NFTs. People literally got crates of these books dropped off to their house. In 1 second. Yes, Amanda.
You know how you always say, if Sheen were to escape, he'd never come home?
Correct.
Well, I just proved that I got him trying to escape on camera.
Okay.
Watch him. He's on the gym here.
You got him to escape. What do you mean by
watch.
that?
He literally just shot for the window.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Birds not realizing the clear glass window. Anyway, so again, this is kind of interesting. I was looking at them. I guess the bot doesn't work anymore. It seems that there's about one sale per day. They have various NFTs that were redeemable for a certain subset of the book game characters. There was Bored Apes and a whole bunch of other artists that Gary highlighted as well. So there's like some indie things in there as well as physical sports cards that were able to be redeemed. But again, Gary does say that book games are played forever, but still kind of crazy about how all that went down. It seems like there's basically nothing being talked about for book games. Yo, Fizzy, what's going on? Guys, if you're tuned in right now, I greatly appreciate it. If you want to tell one friend about this, just share it with them. We're kind of growing here, you know what I mean? If we check out the subs, it's been absolutely crazy. I posted a video that was about Roblox. So if you guys follow me on TikTok or on YouTube, I post like a lot of shorts. I don't set like publish to subscribers, so you have to like go to my page and check it out. But I posted a thing about Roblox and how they sold like a $20,000 Lamborghini NFT. I got like 3,000 views in less than 24 hours. And I like never have that happen. Like, okay, maybe some get like 50 to 100 hits. Man, Roblox is apparently the alpha. Yo, Nana, what's going on? So this is going to be a little bit of fun, but we're going to be open-minded, okay? Listen, Moonbird's on the timeline. I don't know why every time this guy pops up, it's funny. Okay, POV, you nested 3 years to bid on a book. So it looks like Proof launched a marketplace. Apparently you can buy the book for $4 here, and it gives you different assets. POV, you paid $125,000 for your Moonbirds, and after 3 years of holding, you were able to get a Talon scarf, which the scarf looks good. Listen, I love football, soccer, the scarves, all that stuff. It is fun. And I guess they've been trying to defend them in the comments here, I think. Maybe it was a different one in here. But let's go and check the actual marketplace here to make a decision for ourselves. So the Talons Marketplace is now open for browsing. Holders will be able to begin purchasing items on Tuesday, January 9th. Head to talons.proof to explore physicals, experiences. Hopefully I don't have to like own one of these to be able to check it out. But yeah, okay, so they have like let me zoom in here for a little bit. They have some like pendants that you'd put up in like your college room, silver hoot necklace. I don't know like how much the points are worth, if that makes sense. Like I have no idea how long you've had to held to get 1,000 of them. Grail, Moonbird's hat, some other things. This looks like the Yogi Bear hat or something. But we have the Proof scarf, Proof branded ledger, Moonbird's bandana, and then the book in there, which was being made fun of because it sells for like $3. So, I mean, I don't know. I think this is interesting because like I'm all about fluff, and I listen, I try not to bring it up all the time, but it's like we've gotten Root Token and it's been amazing, and they're lower priced than Moonbirds, and Moonbirds have gotten some physical clothing. Is it just the Kevin Rose effect? I mean, I don't know. But still, we'll see what happens. Okay, a little bit more FUD here because we like cranking up the FUD here. Like we're at like Eastside Mario's or something. They're giving us extra cheese on the pasta or salad, whatever we ordered. So Say Network attracted too many malicious actors. 9 out of 10 new projects are rugs. I'm done with buying and supporting new projects on this chain for now until something changes. I don't trust any new projects coming out. For all I know, it might even be the same group of people behind all of them, which is something that within the ETH world it did feel, and I think a lot of people got exposed for that. If you remember the one group that pretended that they were a bunch of like female teams and then it turned out to be like Russian dudes. There's a video. If you type in like queenship drama or queenship Schillerverse, I literally have the Twitter call where they had the space, those early day spaces, and they outed these people. It was absolutely crazy. So either way, this is a great point that with new hype and attention, again, Say seemed like it kind of came out of nowhere on my feed. So I figured that's going to happen for a lot of other people. People rush to go put liquidity in there, and everybody's like, oh my God, I need to get the new project because it's going to 10x. And then it's just people being able to suck out the liquidity. I really think Compete Game is going to be at least a top 10 Web3 game of 24. Right now, it feels like it is number one. Okay, so I got about 50 people mutually following it. It's got 15,000 followers. Maybe this is the secret alpha. Maybe it's a dud. All-in-one community multiplayer game, Blitz Royale, kart race, social deduction, and more to come. Currently in early access. Play now on PC and mobile. When we go and do a quick little check here, okay, avatars look all right. It's a shooter game. We are built different. Truly. Create your competitor, lock in your playstyle, and drop into some of the best multiplayer game modes of all time. You might never have to play another multiplayer game again. Free to play, cross-platform, cross-progression. It's time to compete. Cross progression is interesting because if it's cross platform, I feel like that's like kind of like an obvious aspect to it. But it looks like they do have some games and early access. I mean, it looks all right. This kind of has the vibe of like DayZ or like I mean, maybe you could say like Fortnite, but I feel like it's a Fortnite DayZ kind of mashup on here. They have Blitz Royale, a fast-paced battle royale with exosuits, kart race, rev up for an action-packed kart race, social deduction, embark on an exhilarating mystery armed with weapons, and then they have basketball, which is in development. So if you want to look it up, it is Compete game, and I'll give them a quick little follow here because that does look interesting. Had a convo with a consumer CEO who predicts TikTok Shop will drive 25% of their sales within a year, and it'll be the biggest disruption in online commerce. I am very interested in seeing how TikTok, social media apps, if they have any kind of integration within Web3. For Futureverse, they launched Mark, or well, not them directly, but it's like a streaming platform where creators, I think at some point, are going to be able to have some kind of connection to that. Do we see more of that expand? Do we see any kind of connection to these big players? But I do agree that this is something that will be very crazy to see as we move forward here. Yo, Meef, what's up? LOI, I guess this friend doesn't know about other Web3 games like Illuvium off the grid. Are you talking about me? Or the guy that was saying the top game of 2024? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other games out there, and I feel like there's other ones that have like significantly more following, so I was surprised that they're like, yo, I think this is the best game in Web3, when that was like legit my first time ever hearing about it. No discredit to what they have, but again, yeah, off the grid is, it's Gala Games, right? That's the one that looks like Red Dead Redemption, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong. Listen, I could absolutely be wrong with that one. Yo, the NFT bull market went crazy. True. People regularly flipping punks for 6 figures profit in the matter of days. Will the NFT market ever pop off like that again? This is an interesting concept because I think that when liquidity is flying, people feel way more confident, and that also brings up mid-rares, right? If you don't know what a mid-rare is, basically, if you go and look at most NFT collections right now, you have the floor. And then there's ones that are kind of a little bit better that people will pay, you know, maybe a couple $100 more to, sometimes more, and then the high value ones. We saw some crazy moves with the market going up. And again, this goes into how much people are wanting to hold on to whatever they're holding. Is it something where it is just art-based, right? And that's where we have this kind of argument that I think is, okay, if you have assets that are yielding something, and if you get rid of that, you use that yield. For the other half of it, where if it just is kind of a piece of digital art or provenance, then when you move that, that's kind of just that asset, and then you're emotionally attached to it, but you're not really missing out on anything. But obviously there's a ton of other factors that go into it, but still, nonetheless, I do think that we can see a crazy NFT run, and maybe things are already happening in that regard. Coming from OSF Rect here, this is mental. The Tinfun NFT raffle requires you to actually deposit your ETH and rely on a refund if you don't win. The total deposited amount is now $44 million worth of ETH. Why does everyone need to deposit their ETH? Imagine they just rug it. So deposit during the public sale period. Users can deposit a minimum of 0.1 ETH and maximum of 0.2 ETH to enter in the lottery. After the public sale ends, Tinfun will conduct a lottery draw and announce the winning results. Each wallet can win a maximum of 2 NFTs. Airdrop. For winners, Tinfun will conduct a unified airdrop for the NFTs reserved from whitelist sales after announcing the results. Refund. Non-winners can claim a refund after the completion of the airdrop. So this is hitting my timeline. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I was like, holy sweet marbles. So Tinfun is doing well, and you guys just woke up bullish on art and storytelling projects. Tinfun has been alpha for weeks. You just follow the hype and look in the wrong places. Gaming is the meta, and that's cool, but PFP projects are our identity in Web3. How many times have we brought up people mentioning PFPs today after what felt like forever of saying, we want utility, we want more than PFPs? But for this Tinfun Oriental Fantasy Adventure in Web3, we'll see if this loads. I don't know if I have to hit accept. Do I have to hit accept? I guess there's, oh, here we go. All right, there's a portal. There's a little bit of a ding. Okay, this looks like an owl. No, it's a bull. No, it's an animal with the ring. Ba-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na-na. It's the whitelist. Sale has ended. I mean, I don't know. Okay, I didn't get a whole lot out of that, but it's got 59,000 followers. Apparently 115-ish people follow me. So I posted a clip the other day, and also apparently I misspoke, and somebody called me out on it on YouTube, so thank you very much for the person in the comment section. But Overworld, which is one of the most hyped collections, said that they were partnering with Horizon Labs Ventures. Okay, so apparently this is different than what is the Horizon Labs that launched and is working with the ApeCoin. So just to be clear, because I said, oh my goodness, this is what happened before with how Horizon launched things. This is kind of a completely different company, but has been a part of a few things. So 2024 is the year of tokens. We plan to launch the biggest and best tokens with the highest caliber teams. Follow along for the ride. So I just wanted to clarify on that because I felt like an idiot that I got that information incorrect. So we had like a really cool opportunity where, if you're not familiar, VanEck is one of the big asset managers that is planning on launching an ETF. At the same time, they're also getting into the Web3 space and wanting to create some cool things. And they actually reached out to me wanting me to make some videos for them for kind of just explaining what they're launching. So if you'd like to check out Segment, I'm going to play this quick little 2-minute video. And again, I appreciate them reaching out. And if you happen to be working on a project and you want to reach out to the Schiller here, please do. But here's the info on Segment. Digital assets are as precious as jewels. Segment introduces its revolutionary lock and key model. It's not just a safety feature, it's a game changer. Segment started with a question: what are the problems? Digital collectors face dilemmas, from sharing assets trustlessly to managing airdrops and custody. And that's where our journey began. Traditional shared access models had their flaws. Fractionalized NFTs seemed cool, but it came with drawbacks, like loss of airdrops and the intricacies of dealing with ERC20 tokens. Users were stuck in a compromise, losing out on utility and the allure of owning a part of something grand. Enter Segment's lock and key model, a series of innovative smart contracts designed to preserve the full benefits of ownership. Imagine locking your NFT in a vault so secure, only you have the master key. And guess what? You can create copies of this key, ERC 1155 tokens, to share access without losing ownership. Here's how it works. The lock is a smart contract, holding your NFT securely in your own wallet. You stay in control always. Then come the keys, tokens you mint to share access. Need to unlock your asset? Just gather all your keys and voila! It's back in your hands. It's a legal and regulatory dance, and we're leading it with innovation and compliance in mind. With the lock and key model, embrace the future of digital asset sharing. It's secure, compliant, and most importantly, it respects your ownership. Get ready to experience the freedom of shared access. Only with Segment. Lock in your assets, share your keys, and unlock a world of possibilities. Intrigued? Mark your calendars for February 2024 when we officially launch. It's not just a launch, it's a leap into the future of digital asset management. Visit segment.io to sign up for our waitlist now. I'm talking to nobody because I got my mic muted. Listen, not bad. Hey, but again, if you guys are wanting to check it out, it's at Segment.io. And thank you for them for reaching out to me. Okay, first rug of 2024 is complete. Mango Farm, if you haven't seen, basically Antonio Brown was shilling the other day this upcoming NFT crypto event, and yeah, it got rugged. So a little bit more of a backstory. Fubar is a super well-respected auditor and just a dev within the space, was also contacted to partake in that. They deleted some tweets regarding it after kind of being like, hey, like, we're looking into this because the team decided to rug. So they got some people into it. And again, this is where we kind of talk about the security aspect of things. Mango protocol rugged. Zach XBT, please help. You bought something promoted by Antonio Brown when all he does is promote scams. Perhaps be more careful before blindly gambling your money in a useless Ponzi. And like 20 hours ago, he was highlighting that last year was already promoting a bunch of scams, but people still thought, hey, this is the thing. And another thing here, Thread Guy is saying history repeats itself, and Antonio Brown shilling crypto is unironically the most bullish signal I've seen in year. I think that it's kind of interesting as well, just for the fact that we have people that are kind of like highlighting, hey, this is super bullish. Then Antonio Brown is talking about crypto, which also for anybody that's new in the space that comes across some bigger accounts that might be like, oh, this is that person endorsing what that is. So again, be super careful. Had another theme of crazy prices and last cycle. This is some of the doozies from last one. Cool Cats were at 15 ETH. Dead Fellas at 4.5. Proof Collective 130 ETH. And Clone X were upwards of 20 ETH. And this was also with Ethereum way higher of a price. Absolutely crazy to look at. And apparently we heard some rumors about Lazy Lions wanting to be for sale, and I guess Beanie posted this but then deleted it. Hey Beanie, nice to meet. I'm Nine, co-founder of Lazy Lions. We're in the process of evaluating potential acquisition for Lazy Lions. We've received offers and are currently seeking the right fit. The registration of interest closes Monday. If you know anyone who would be a good fit and interested, we have an information pack on all things Lazy Lions ready. I have no idea what the hell Lazy Lions did except for launch another collection. And I remember at the time, I kind of fudded it because they like cut their mint price in half. It didn't really make any sense at why they were doing it. Obviously, they were looking for funding, but then you're like, okay, like what's going on in general? I don't know. It's crazy. So I think that we're going to see a lot of collections that we're building last cycle have success if they've been like actually pursuing stuff, and then other ones that just have some kind of a mantra within Web3, kind of like the Gutter Cat Gang acquisition, and then here in Lazy Lions that might not do as great, but potentially they could turn things around. From Alex Becker, the reason the ETF is not a sell the news event is simple: self-custody. I love this. Say you're a retiree, pension fund, financial manager. Most people, including me, don't feel comfortable self-custodying millions or tens. There's no way they are just going to leave their money on, say, Coinbase either. So really, what is the option for a normie manager managing multiple clients or an individual to add a large amount of Bitcoins to their portfolio? The answer is they don't. This is what the ETF is for. It allows the biggest money holders in the world to actively invest in a way that is comfortable and easy for them. Again, no 65-year-old with a $10 million portfolio is going to self-custody $500,000 in Bitcoin. Their manager is not going to self-custody it either, especially not across 20 to 100 clients each. With an ETF, they will, making Bitcoin a routine asset in most funds and portfolios. AKA, this isn't a sell the news event. It's beginning of steady flow into the asset from the largest holders of wealth in the world. So if you don't know, Canada already has the ETF approval. We've already had it. I don't know when it launched, if it actually did anything, but like my argument for this whole thing was like, okay, we have countries and places that already have it, but I guess when you go country to country, it must be significantly easier if you're in the US to be able to buy something that's from the US for this, or kind of in general, right? So I also agree with the self-custody aspect. I think there's a lot of people that don't want to jump into that in the first place. We're seeing a ton of scams that happen and they're highlighted and they make the news and yada, 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 yada. And people probably aren't confident with that, because you have to think of, when you make a wallet, how many other things you need to know about if you're getting fake emails, what you can trust, what you can kind of do if you send something to the wrong address, if it's on a different chain. I feel like there's some people that might come into the space and be like, oh, I can just send this token to like my address that I have for this other chain, and then it just work. When that like doesn't happen, you have to go through an exchange, whether it's a centralized, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. Right? So I think there is a lot of merit to this aspect, and self-custody is a huge thing, but major shout out to you if you are in the space, if you are self-custodying and familiar, because think of how many people are not in that. Got drunk and almost sold all my NFTs to buy the rights to Friday. Apparently, you can buy the rights to Friday by Rebecca Black, and it looks like it costs under $100,000. But the last 12 months of earning, you got about $3,500. But let's say for 30 years, if Friday by Rebecca Black gets massive again, listen, that under $100,000 with enough time, if this kind of continues or maybe goes up, I mean, listen, that might not be terrible. Kind of hilarious. The narrative around NFTs for this bull cycle will be NFT Finance. What the hell do you mean by NFT Finance?
Jim, everyone, it's Titan Eve here. I am still in Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia, for those that don't know. And I will probably be out here for a while. I will definitely be out in Southeast Asia for some time. We are, you know, my company specifically, we're setting up shop out here. We like Asia, we like Southeast Asia specifically. So we want to have a presence here, and I will be that presence until further notice. We're also hiring locally and whatnot, but that's not the reason why I want to do this video. The reason I want to do the video is because I wanted to touch on the state of the markets right now for DeFi NFTs. A lot of you have heard me talking about NFT-Fi. You know, what is that? Why should you care? Essentially, it's just DeFi and NFTs coming together. Again, why do you care? Well, because it's probably going to be fueling a lot of the, you know, liquidity coming into NFTs. You know, you might have thought that you've seen an NFT bull market in the past cycles, but you don't really have any idea what's possible when you start injecting liquidity through, you know, perps, through lending, options, buy now, pay later, all kinds of different mechanics that are in NFT finance. So I really would consider, if I were you, looking into NFT finance. Don't get scared because of the finance part in NFTs. It's really not that scary. You know, obviously you can either follow me, kind of see what I'm doing, so what I'm talking about. That's one option, but there's plenty of other people out there that can also kind of explain this for you. And that's just on the PFP side. You know, kind of like at least initially, you know, for a lot of folks, it'll be sort of like the PFP relationship, but RWAs are starting to come online. There's more asset types, more asset classes that are going to get tokenized, you know, non-fungible asset classes that are going to get tokenized, and so those will be obviously utilized in NFT finance as well. But the narrative going into this cycle will be NFT finance. Don't forget it, don't regret it.
That is interesting, because we also have kind of a lot of arguments that people have said, you know, when you go on Blur or you go on these protocols, it's like, okay, so you have Bored Apes, you have Azuki, you have, I'm trying to think of like another collection here, but I'm totally blanking. But some of these collections, people are arguing, oh, this is like completely propped up because of these lending markets. And I mean, like, when you listen to that, you're like, okay, well, I mean, not wrong, but then the argument turns into, okay, like, are we saying that it's propped up, or that it's like actually going to stay there because of all this, and we're just going to add more and more protocols that allow for ease of lending, et cetera, et cetera. So very interested to see. Love that little isolates in there from Titan. I got to give him a follow on that. All right, so on top of like all these weird things here, Wizard of Soho, he says, Elwa, everyone asked me to delete my tweet about mango tweets so the hater mob doesn't come after me. Dude, I never delete my tweets. This is not the first rug I have shilled, and I guarantee it won't be the last. What the hell is the mindset with that? I got that guy blocked, to be honest. Listen, I'm frugal with the blocks, but what a stupid statement. If Azuki drop a token after the last 40 million extraction, talking about elementals and absolutely rinsing the beans, you may as well give your online bank logins to them and sign over your houses. Well, what in the hell is this from? Well, because it looks like they are creating this Web3 foundation. They're a part of it. There's an open anime universe that Azuki is leading. Apparently, there's several other anime type collections that are a part of it, and they are launching an anime token. Very curious to see how that all flushes out. Little advice here from Raul Paul. No leverage, no FOMO, top 3 to 5 assets as main bag, self-custody, or multi-sig with good wallet hygiene. Only trade a small degen bag, less than 10%. Hodl over longer time horizon. Zoom out and remove the noise. Expect 35% pullbacks frequently. BTFD if you can. I don't know what the hell BTFD does, means, or anything in between, but that's going to wrap it up for this edition of XFeed. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, again, please leave a like and or comment, even if it's just a thumbs up in the comments as well. It's greatly appreciated, and we will be back tomorrow with another edition. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Yo, gang, goodbye. You're amazing. Love you.